Hey guys, welcome back to Economics and Comics. I've been thinking a lot about making this video. I haven't had a lot of time. I said, you know what, let me throw together a little video about something I was thinking about, and you should really watch to the end because I'm going to bring up something that not a lot of people talk about. And I think it's interesting for you guys that are choosing between CGC and CBCS. I want to kind of break it down for you very quickly and let you think about something at the end, which I think you might really consider. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so I have some small breakdowns here. This isn't going to be about market turnaround prices. If that's your main concern, then you pretty much already made up your decision. But I know a lot of comic book dealers over the last 15 years, and they don't care. The truth is, they don't care. It's whatever service they think's best, and it just really depends because they can sell whatever. But I wanted to break down a couple things so that if you're thinking about things, there might be some answers. So let's go quickly right off the bat to pricing, okay? So this is going to be real simple. Currently, now if you're not a member, okay? If you're a member, the prices drop, but it's all the same. So right now, for a modern book, which is 1975 or newer, at CGC, it's $24, okay? At CBCS, it's $18. Now remember, this is if you don't have a membership. The turnaround time for a CGC comic is 122 days. We'll get to that. The CBCS says 31 weeks or something. I equate that to 155 business days. Okay. Then the next option would be the CGC Fast Pass, which adds $15. It would be $39 total. And CBCS's, what they would call Fast Pass, is $33. Okay. Now, the Fast Pass for CGC says 45 days. All right, those are business days. The Fast Pass for CBCS says 77, says weeks, but 77 days. Now, there is another tier for CBCS called 2-day modern. That is 10 days. Now, I've done it before where I sent it and I got it back in 1 week. 1 week. But that's $50. Now that's at non-membership. I think it's $45 if you remember. CGC has one that's called a walkthrough, which is also 10 days. But it's much more expensive than $45 to $50. Now, considering these things straight off the bat, you don't know when you're going to get your books back, especially with CGC. They give you an estimate, but let me tell you, it's never right. Never right. The only way you're going to get your books back is if you pay the big bucks, like walkthrough. You're going to have them back in 10 days or even less. But you're going to spend a lot of money to do that with CGC. Now, the one other thing I wanted to say is, for someone like me, I always pre-screen my books. This is something that you need to think about. If you're doing new modern, you only want 9/8 or whatever. If you say, I only want a 9/8, and if it's a 9/6, I want you to send it back to me. Pre-screening right now at CGC this is how it goes. You need to do at least 25 books to qualify for the pre-screen. If it fails, you get one book fails, it's $8 per book. If it passes, you don't pay anything. It also adds 30 days to your turnaround time. Now, I can tell you right now, that's a lie, because I have submitted over thousands of books, and usually it takes 2 to 3 months before they even see it and do the pre-screen. And then you add on all the other time they said for shipping back to you, okay? Now, you can also do pre-screening at CBCS. The last numbers I saw for CBCS is $4 a book if it fails. Here's the cool thing about CBCS. It could be 5 now or 6, I don't know. You can send in 1 pre-screened or 2. You don't have to force yourself to send in 25 books. You can pre-screen it at whatever grade you want to. You can do that with CGC too, but if you send in 25 pre-screens of CGC, they all have to be 9.8 or 9.6 or whatever. With CBCS, you can say, okay, this book I want a 9.4 or better. This book I want an 8.0 or better. This book I want a 9.8 or better. One at a time. And you only have to send 1. The secret to this is, say I send in 25 or whatever, 10, okay? And I say I want them all 9.8s. If 3 fail, right? That's $4 a fail each. That's $12. But if 2 fail, if my pass rate is better, right? If it's better than 75% or more of the books I sent in, even if those other books fail, I don't get charged at all, which is really nice. And I don't really think it adds that much time to your turnaround time either. I usually don't have a problem with CBCS, okay, in regard to turnaround time. I send specific books there for a certain reason. And I send other books to CGC for other reasons, okay? So now that that's out of the way, pricing and stuff, it's very equal, but at the same time, if you do, let's say, a $45 to $50 CBCS, you're going to have it in 10 days. And that's almost the price of a CGC Fast Pass, which gives you the books back in 45 business days. It's a big difference, especially if you're a reseller, okay, and you need those books fast. For instance, I sent in 200 slabs like 5 months ago. They were keys. I got them back now, and most of them are dead. It was pointless. I didn't care that much, but at the same time, it does hurt. All right. Now, let's get past that brief explanation of the 2 companies. If there are 2 companies to pick, those are the 2, if you're curious. I think that CGC, this is my personal view, and I've been doing this for about 13 years, somewhere in that area, grading books and sending thousands. I've sent thousands of books there. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars. I've learned their system. I taught myself how to grade through it. I know how it works, okay? Since CGC has expanded into the cards and all the other stuff and the signings and all that, and they always had signings, but all these special signing events and all that stuff, all our books are getting pushed back. Now, this doesn't affect, it may affect the high rollers that spend a crap load of money because they don't care. They want their book back yesterday. Or the people that, basically, it doesn't really affect them because they're doing turnarounds of like a day. But for all of us, we're sitting there waiting, where's our books? Did you ever think maybe our books aren't there because someone's grading a Pokemon card? Or possibly a giant signing of Jim Lee just came in, or Todd McFarlane, and those get priority over everyone else's stuff, even though we've been sitting in line forever. We get pushed back. I truly believe that's happening, and I think that CGC's got their hands full in regard to spreading themselves too thin. Video games, now, I mean, enough is enough, okay? So I'm going to do one other point for you, and then I'm going to tell you something that you might think is crazy, okay? So, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, about the 9.8, the so-called 9.8, and the mysterious 9.9s and 10s. And I want to give you an example of what I've noticed. I've sent in, let's say out of the last 200 books I sent in, which I gotta say, I only had like 3 or 4 fails through CGC. None of them were a 9.9. Now, you say, well, 9.9s are elusive. They're impossible. And a 10, oh my gosh, you get a 10. That's crazy. Well, yeah, you're right. It is impossible at CGC. That's what I'm finally realizing. Unless you send in a medal or some sort of crazy, incredible paper, or a Ronin or something with the binding where it's never been opened, Batman Damned, that type of book. Looking for a 9.9 and a 10 is not, it's impossible on a regular modern book, okay? And I keep telling myself over all these years, why? That doesn't make any sense. So, when you're holding a book, let's say you have 20 regular books of a new book off the shelf, and you're looking at them and you know what you're doing, and you know there is not one single flaw on that book. Shouldn't that be a 10 or a 9.9 at least in your mind? Like, you didn't even, let's say you opened it, but you looked with a magnifying glass with light. You can't see any corner damage. You can't see any spine damage. It's crisp. It's clean. Everything's perfect. Why is that not a 9.9 or 10? Well, what if it was? What if it was? But CGC just says 9.8, 9.8, 9.8, 9.8, one tick, 9.6, 9.6. What I found out with CBCS is this. Over the last year of kind of testing different things, they reward you with 9.9s and 10 more than not. I sent in recently some second print Carnage black and white books. Decent paper, better than, it's Marvel paper, but better last year's Marvel paper. I sent in, I think, 10, and it was like amazing. I had and they, believe me, I looked at them, I thought they were absolutely flawless. This is a regular book, something that CGC would have gave me a 9.8 for. It's like a lottery or something. I had a 10.0, I had 4 9.9s, and the rest were 9.8s. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Those books were perfect to my eye. I really checked them closely. Why aren't they a 9.9? Why aren't they a 10? Why do I never get 9.9s and 10s anymore from CGC, right? Unless they're metals or some super paper. Why is that? Why does a 9.9 and 10 have to be so elusive? So, wrapping this all up for you guys, this is how I feel. I am going to move to CBCS from now on. If I get books graded from now on, they're going to CBCS. I'm done. I'm done with CGC. It's been 10 to 12 years of grading comics, and there was a time where I was very happy with CGC. That's been 3 to 4 years ago, or even before that. I'm not really happy anymore. Where I can send in the same books to CBCS with a nicer, clearer case, maybe a little blander, but definitely much more presentable, very beautiful. It's almost like there's not a case on it. I can send it to them. I can save money, especially if I'm a member. And pay almost the same thing, and instead of doing a fast track modern with CGC for $40, and if I'm a member at CBCS, it's $45 for their 2-day turnaround, which is 10 days. I am getting my books back in a fourth of the time I would with the fast track. And don't forget, I was pre-screening, which adds another 30 days to my fast tracked books at CGC, which would have been about almost 80 days. I can spend the same amount of money almost with CBCS and have them pre-screened and back to me within 10 days. It's a no-brainer to me. And for the possibility of starting to see some 9.9s and 10s where these damn books do deserve that grade. It's a 9.9 and 10. It's ridiculous. These are grades that we should be seeing, especially if we've taken a lot of time to pre-screen and select the prime ones. Why aren't they 9.9s and 10s? So, for all those reasons, I've decided, and I'm announcing now, I just got my final shipments in from CGC. I'm done with them. Unless something happens, I'm done. I feel very comfortable with CBCS. I feel comfortable with their graders, small group of people. I'm very comfortable with their prices and their turnaround times. They do specials every once in a while. I like their cases, and I want some damn good grades. And if any of mine don't get the 9.9 or higher, most likely I don't even have to pay for the pre-screen, and I'm not losing in time. So you guys consider however you want to use it. Yeah, CGC is a great option, but I'm laying out why after this long in this business of grading comics, why I'm moving to CBCS. And the real reason is turnaround times and the possibility of getting even harder. Getting even higher grades than I'm used to seeing the bland old 9.8. Why not a 9.9, right? So keep that in mind, guys. Think about it. I don't know what type of grader you are, if you're new to it or not, but you can use both these companies, okay? But when you get to a point where you know exactly what to look for, you've been doing it a long time, and you see some books that you think are absolutely flawless, I would rather send it to CBCS, especially if it's modern new, than CGC for the chance to hit the jackpot, at least in my mind. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown and video. And that's it. We'll see you later.